Good day, everyone. Welcome to this week's podcast. The topic remains the same on how to grow up spiritually in the workplace. I'll be taking a cue from Pastor Ajani's recent podcast, and among the many amazing spiritually sound things he said that was of great blessing, I would be putting emphasis, if I may, on one or two things, majorly one, and that really struck me when he said that we should lightly esteem every other thing and greatly esteem salvation in our hearts. And I found the Lord sitting on that and trying to show me basically what it means somewhere. How do I really esteem salvation in our hearts? How is it tied to growing up spiritually? Because I'm sure a whole lot of us are listening to this podcast already with a generic formula, as the case might be, as to what we should do every day. But we'll just try and see scriptures about it and just a conversation, more or less. Hebrews 11:6 made us to see that without faith it is impossible to please God. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Our esteeming, our focus, our nailing it on the head for salvation, as the case might be, is actually tied to one that is actually coming. Our walk and obedience is actually the way we seek. And faith is an exact response to a man that seeks. So a man that is not seeking can actually not focus on salvation. A man that is not on a journey will never get to the end, which is salvation. And this journey is actually a journey of nature inside the soul of man. Pastor Ajani actually summarized that podcast in a definition when he said that spiritual growth is acquiring a stature of Christ. And we know that Christ is the curriculum of faith, which should be our yardstick and our standard in measuring growth. So, and this journey of faith, as the case might be, which actually enables us to focus on salvation, is, like, if you permit, we can rephrase it. The way to become the stature of Christ is to actually focus on faith, is to actually be a man that is journeying, that is moving, right? So we can summarize our faith walk as our growth. And a man that is constantly growing is one that is tying obedience to commandments, right, with all that is doing. So such a man is seeing commandments, such a man is seeing obedience, because faith is a journey, and you only move your legs when you obey. You don't move your legs when you have a mental assent to what has been said. God is super interested in the how. How is in italics and bold. We do everything around us, because it's in the how that he can lead a man. It's in the how you move, is in the how you respond, is in the how you actually walk and come to God. It might not be a complete 360-degree change every time, for we know that this journey is not a sprint. We know that it's a marathon, and in this marathon there are specific guidelines. Like we said earlier, Christ is the guideline for accurate running, for accurate staying on the path. And I was looking at a man running. When you look at a man running, you can stop and be thinking that, okay, this guy that is running a marathon, all that is literally doing is just putting one leg in front of the other. It can look very monotonous, but he's actually doing a lot of work. He's not stopping. He keeps going every day. And it just shows that scripture that says, whatsoever you know what to do and you do not do it, to you it is sin. And it elevates that our seemingly generic commandments of meekness, our doing all things without murmurings and disputings, our subjecting ourselves to our masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward, our honoring of the hoary head and those above us. These are guidelines which we used to run each day. They are the ways we take steps. They are the ways we move. This movement is our growth. Like we said, this movement brings us closer to thoughts, brings us closer to mannerisms and understandings of God's realm, that in turn gives us more instructions to make greater strides. So it's a full race, but the solace we have is that this race has an end, which is salvation, and we are many that are running. You are many, your brethren in every workplace, they are running the same thing. In businesses, we are running this faith run, and we are sure of victory ahead. Paul said that we are not them that are uncertain. That's time we run with certainty that there is victory up ahead, and we'll keep obeying, we'll keep investing more thoughts, we'll keep changing, we'll keep coming to God, we'll keep focusing on salvation. God bless you. Thank you.